This week on the podcast, James Olin doesn't think BioWare will be shut down if Anthem flops. Spider-Man has gone gold. Crackdown 3 is already done, technically speaking. And Playground Games has made some huge hires that you guys are going to want to stick around and listen to. Also, Doom Eternal will be shown off much sooner than you think. All of these stories and so much more on episode number 84 of the Analog Circle podcast. I'm your host, Kiaun Mitchell, and as always, thank you guys so much for coming out and tuning in and listening to your guy. Greatly appreciated. All of the support is just loved. Thank you guys so much for that. Now, I want to just very quickly thank you guys for tuning in, man. Quite a few people tuned in to the episode of Kiaun Vents, man. I definitely appreciate it was a pretty nice turnout. Thank you guys so much for that. And I enjoyed the feedback that I got on that episode. And if you guys haven't checked it out yet, definitely look up Kiaun Vents. It's on N4G right now. It's, it's quite a few places. Wherever podcasts are, it's there. So thank you guys so much for that. But, let me go ahead and concentrate on this show. Definitely want to apologize to you guys first and foremost for not being able to record as much as I really, really would like to. Actually, I got to get ready to get out there to work in a couple of hours today. And I'm recording this. What is today? Wednesday, August 8th. So I got a few hours to be able to get this done. And, I'm back out on the road, baby. Tully, New York. Here we come. But, let's go ahead, man. I want to jump into the emails for this week. And, I want to definitely shout out, Mr. Cody Clark for always sending in his emails. Is greatly appreciated. Now, you guys might have remembered on the last podcast, I was asking Cody personally, what would he have given, what's the game? The zombie game that just came out on the Xbox One, State of Decay 2. I was asking him, what would he rate it? So he actually got back to me and, here are his thoughts. Now, the title of his email is Rate These Zombies. He says, rating games is hard. Normally, I get sweet talked into playing so and trash games with Goose by the way of promises of beer and pizza. Looking at you, upcoming Defiance 2050. He continues to say, the thing about State of Decay, the game is only $30. It was also 40 or 50 if you wanted the beta access. Lots of pro Xbox podcasts dropped the cash and got into it. Would I drop $30 on this game if I didn't have Game Pass? I can say I wouldn't have played or paid for it if I didn't have the Game Pass. It was fun, don't get me wrong, but it had a learning curve that normally I don't dig. It wasn't until I started doing multiplayer with Goose and some of his friends that the game really got fun. It's all about multiplayer for this one. Single player is a job. Playing with a friend is a joy. If you love survival games, with that meaning all or nothing rules, the game is worth it. If you just want to screw around and you don't really care about consequences, it's worth it. If you have access to the Game Pass for a month, it's worth it. Me, however, I may pick it up if it goes on sale for the Xbone for less than $20. I give it 4 out of 6 beers and a half a large thin crust pizza. Hey, Cody. Excuse me, y'all. Thank you for that email, brother. I really appreciate it, man. It seems like overall, the consensus is if you play it multiplayer, it's not a bad game. If you can get it for $20, it's not a bad game. And if you have Game Pass and you just so happen to kind of want to see what it's about for a month, not a bad game. So I guess, basically, Cody, I need to stay away from this one, huh, brother? I guess so, man. 4 out of 6 beers, not too bad, but, me not really being a multiplayer guy, man, I'm gonna be up Craps Creek without a darn paddle, brother. So, I appreciate that, Cody. Thank you so much for that email, brother. I just really, really enjoy reading your emails, man. But you know what? I think you sent me one more. I'm actually going through. Let me see. I'm pulling it up now. Yeah. You did. So Cody hit us with a double whammy this week. Now, the next one is entitled, What's Old is Evil and What's Evil is New. Now, this email says, not super fond of hearing about Ubisoft's plans for Ass Creed. Okay, all right. I understand what Cody's talking about. I think on the last episode I was talking about Assassin's Creed, how they were saying they could make these different timelines within the same game, and because of technology they were going to be able to do that. So Cody is getting into some of his thoughts about that. Now, let me continue. His email continues on to say, it sounds to me like games as a service. You subscribe to the game and each year they drop an update, and look, now it's Clown Collage. Next year, Clown Collage. He says next year it's underwater basket weaving. The year after that is galaxy bowling. Or rather, you'll pay $10 a month to have access to the framework for that, and as each release comes out, you can drop $30 to have the option to jump into each timeline. It's the old MMO subscription thing turned on its head. Pay me for access to my storybook and then pay me every 3 months for a new character, a new skin, and pay me every year also for access to 10 new missions and whatever. This is what they want since they can't get away with loot boxes. Subscribe to your games. Why play Battlefield and Call of Duty when you have to subscribe to Call of Duty? Why would you also subscribe to Battlefield? It's going to be even worse if Sony can't learn to play nice with crossplay with Microsoft and Nintendo. Man, I sound like I need a tinfoil hat and a broken down van near the river. Hey, Cody. Thank you, brother, for this email. Now, I gotta say, man, this is actually very, very interesting that you mentioned this, because later on in the podcast, something very similar, not quite 100% like this, but similar is actually going on over at EA. Now, I will say that, yeah, I didn't really understand the concept myself, because it definitely seems like it's just DLC. I didn't see where it was anything special. But the way that you kind of put this spin on it, having you basically sign up for a game as a service, and it's a single player game to get all of this DLC, get the skins, get the new maps. I can actually see that happening in the future. And like you said, since the loot box thing has just blown up in their faces, they gotta find a different way to get some revenue. So we'll see how this turns out in the long haul, but you might be on to something with that, Cody. And once again, brother, thank you so much for the email. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. Now, guys, oh man, this might be a somewhat lengthy podcast, because I tell you guys, I've been keeping up with the news, but since I haven't been able to record, some of the stories will be old. Some of them will be a little newer, but you guys will have to be the judge of that. But, I want to just go ahead and start off by saying, before I go any further, let me let you guys know what I have been into. First off, I want to let you guys know I actually played Shadow of War. Man, shockingly, now it's a demo up, okay? I don't want you guys to think I bought it, but it is a demo up of Shadow of War. If you haven't checked out the demo, I gotta say, I was kind of impressed. It actually wasn't a bad game. It reminds me, though, I have to say this. Excuse me, I just belched. It reminds me of Assassin's Creed to a certain extent because you can actually jump and climb on so many objects. You can actually assassinate people from, over top of their heads, jump down and kill them. But the thing that I do like about the game is being able to recruit people to fight with you. It is actually cool. I mean, the gameplay is nice. The combat is actually pretty darn smooth. I really enjoyed the game. It was a lot of fun. I really think I'm going to pick this one up. The only thing is, I don't know when I'm going to have the chance to play it. I have no idea. But I would definitely highly recommend anybody out there that has been wondering what the game Shadow of War is about to definitely download the demo. It was really, really dope. And the thing that I also liked about the game is you didn't have to play the first one, Shadow of Mordor. You didn't have to play that one to understand what the story was because they actually catch you up in the beginning as to what the last story was about. So that was one of the games I got into. Of course, I'm still playing God of War, which continues to get better as the game goes on. I don't even know how that's possible for a game to continue to get better the longer you play it. The story is just opening up more and more. I'm learning more about the characters. I'm learning more about side characters. Excellent, excellent game. I know I should have been finished it, but I haven't even. Man, let me tell you guys something. I picked up a driving wheel, a TSXW Thrustmaster driving wheel for Forza Horizon 3. I actually got it, and this wheel has gotten excellent reviews. That's why I picked it up. I was at Micro Center. It was on sale for, I think I got it for, at the time it was like $450, somewhere around in there. I bought it, and it has still been in the box. It has been over a month, and I have not cracked it open. And shout out to man, I don't even know if I want to say the brother's name, but man, forget it. I'm gonna say it, man. Shout out to Mike J, man. I have not opened up the Nintendo Switch yet, brother. It is still in the box. I'm sorry, brother. But I picked up the wheel and it's just sitting there. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna eventually get to it. It has a lot of great force feedback. The pedals are supposed to be pretty good. I'm gonna get around to it, y'all. Eventually I'm gonna get around to it. But the last game outside of God of War that I've been playing was Walking Dead Season 3. It was actually a demo up of that. Now, that was a series that I never really got into. It seemed cool, but I played the first episode back in Season 1, and I was like, man, this is kinda cool, but it's not quite my kind of game. So I kinda pulled up off of it and didn't really go back to the franchise. And since the third one was up, I said, you know what? Let's just see, because I am into games like Detroit Become Human, Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls. So I'm like, it's kinda in that vein. And I also read that they were, reworking the whole system, trying to make the game better. Telltale was talking about they were going to be using a new engine. So I was like, okay, that's a little interesting. Let me go ahead and download it and see what it's about. And man, shockingly, the game was actually really, really good. I mean, yeah, it's the same format. If you're not into games like I just previously mentioned, that are a little slower paced, more story based or story driven, this probably won't be your type of game. It won't be your thing. But for me, the most shocking thing about it is this game looks great. The game looks good. I mean, it looks darn good. I mean, the shading, the color, just the character models, man, I was like, wow. wow, this is really a good game. And the thing I really like about it, you can actually move your character around. It's not like a point and click kind of deal. I mean, you are moving around in real time. Things are happening. You got a little kid with you that you got to watch out for. Man, I'm telling you, I might have to pick this up, brother. And this is the thing. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to cheat because I don't think I can go through season 1 and you know, just kind of look and play the game like that. I can't do it. I'm not. More than likely, I'm going to look up that story. I kind of know what happens at the end. I understand, you know, no spoilers here, even though the game is 100 years old. But, I get it, you know. I'm not going to do that, but I might play season 2. I just might do that. But season 3, man, guys, gamers, man, get out there and download that. That thing was very, very, very good. I mean, I loved it, man. I loved it. I mean, being able to fight the zombies. I mean, I was shivving them up, brother. I mean, I was doing my thing, brother. God, Clementine has turned into a real killer. I'm telling you, it was amazing. But anyway, I've wasted you guys' time too much already, man. Let's go ahead, man. God dog it. And get into what we all come here for. And that is the gaming news. Dun, 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 that went down, man. Now, some of these stories, I'm going to tell you, like I told you before, some of them are old, so bear with me, brother. But let's start out in some id Software news. Now, it has been announced that Doom Eternal will have gameplay shown at this year's QuakeCon event that will take place on August 10th in Dallas, Texas. That is going to be, what's that, Friday? I think that's Friday. So anybody that has been wanting to see what this game is going to be about, seeing how the graphics are going to look, seeing the gameplay, seeing the different enemy types, stay tuned. August 10th is when it's happening, brother. Yes, sir. Now, moving into some Red Dead Redemption 2 news. Now, oh man. Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick spoke out about a so-called battle royale being included with the game. Now, this has been loose talk. We've all heard about this months and months ago now, but he's out here talking about it. Now, this is his quote. He says, "We've used battle royale mechanics before. I wouldn't rule it out. But any mechanic you use would want to be in service of the core entertainment experience and would be consumer focused. It wouldn't be driven by revenue focus in our view." You are lying, sir. Now, continuing on, he says, and if one is overly derivative, I said that all wrong. Man, forget that word. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Derivative, man, of other success, you pretty much guarantee you're not going to have your own success because no one is looking for a clone of Fortnite. I wish we had Fortnite. We don't. So wishing we had Fortnite is not going to help me. He went on to say, "We're certainly not adverse to using something created by someone else in service of a good experience in our own games." End of quote. Now, if we turned, no. This is another quote, god dog. Get your head together, Kiaun. Now he says, "If we turned an upcoming release into a sad, diluted version of Fortnite, I can assure you it would fail. In addition to being embarrassing for the brand." End of quote. Now I got to say, Mr. Zelnick, I can't flat out just say lie. I can't call this man a liar flat out because I don't know. But I had to say that because, man, I'm looking at Grand Theft Auto 5 and these shark cards and how they have made a huge come up off of the shark cards. I mean, anybody out there that is an avid GTA 5 online player, we all know that the bread and butter to that game, to getting the mansions, to getting the Bentleys, getting the motorcycles, getting all of the good stuff in the game, is you got to buy some shark cards, brother. That is how you can stunt in the game. I can't in good conscience believe that Mr. Zelnick is telling the truth when he talks about that they wouldn't be monetizing this, basically. I mean, if Red Dead Redemption 2 kicks off similar to GTA 5 online with whatever mode they're going with, I'm sure that is going to be a focus, as it should be. Get your bag, man. Get your money. I'm not against that. But what I am against is saying that, you won't basically be using this to get more money off of people and then turn around and you actually do it anyway. I think that just happened with Gran Turismo? On the PlayStation 4, the latest Gran Turismo, they said they weren't gonna have any, DLC or something like that in the game, and all of a sudden, voila magic, you got some DLC or something. I mean, I don't want to talk about that too much because I don't have all of the details, but anyway, he's not saying it is gonna be, pretty much that mode. He's not saying if Battle Royale is gonna be in there truly or not, but they're not adverse or against I'm actually copying something if it makes sense for their model. We'll have to see, man. Anyway, there ain't too much more to talk about in this one, but let's move on to the next story. Now, in a quick news story, Konami released an update to Metal Gear 5, which will allow you to play as the character Quiet in FOB online missions. Now, on top of adding 2 difficulty options to FOB missions, which includes Easy, which allows players to infiltrate other bases without having to worry about retaliation, and quote unquote hard, that rewards you with more event points. So it's cool. You can actually play as Quiet. I have Metal Gear Solid 5. It's still in the plastic. I doubt if I'm not going to say I doubt if I'll ever play it, but man, so much greatness is about to come out. I don't think I'm going to have time, man. I'm hiccuping and everything on the podcast. My bad, people. But, but moving on into some more news now. This is old. I know this is an old story, but I'm going to read it anyway. 2 more games have gone backwards compatible for the Xbox One. They are Silent Hill HD Collection and Silent Hill Homecoming. Now, that's not much more to talk about into that, but I do want to talk about this. Now, into some interesting BioWare news. Now, we know that lately BioWare has been under the gun with their new title Anthem to succeed. Now, some people even think that if the game fails, including myself, it's lights out for BioWare, especially since Andromeda didn't get the warmest reception. Well, former BioWare senior creative director, Mr. James Olin, did an interview with Game Informer and had this to say, and I quote this: "The more success that a studio has, the more freedom and resources that it has. So obviously BioWare wants to have success with Anthem because that will be good for the studio as a whole. However, I think EA is looking for BioWare to be a long-term part of the company. I think EA really respects what BioWare brings to it. BioWare is a lot different than all the other aspects of its business. So even if Anthem doesn't do as well, and I think it's going to be great, but if it doesn't do gangbusters, I don't think that that's the end of BioWare. I think it will simply be a chance for BioWare to learn some lessons and apply it to the next game that comes out." Now, brothers. Do y'all believe this? Do you believe that BioWare, if they don't succeed with Anthem, that EA is going to keep them around? Now, I have heard that this has been a huge investment from EA's standpoint. They have put a lot of money into Anthem to succeed. Do you think that they would keep them around? Well, you know what? I did some research because I was curious to know, well, how many studios has EA shut down? Now, I want to run through some of these studios that at the time, some of them look like they might not have been able to have been touched. But I want to run through the list. Now, let's take a look back, like I said, at the studios EA has shut down. Now, they shut down Maxis, who was behind SimCity. They were with EA from 1997 to 2015. They shut down Mythic, which was behind Dark Age of Camelot. They were with EA from 2006 to 2014. They shut down Bullfrog, who was in charge of Syndicate and Dungeon Keeper. They stayed on from 1987 to 2001. They had Origin. They shut them down. They were behind Ultima and Wing Commander. They stayed around from 1998 to 2003. They had DreamWorks Interactive, which stayed with them from 2000 to 2013. They had Phenemic Games that were behind Spellforce and Battleforge. There was 2006 to 2013. They had Black Box Games that were behind Need for Speed, Skate, and they stayed from 2002 to 2013. They had Pandemic, which only worked on one game. There was the Saboteur. There was the black and white game with some red in it. They were there from 2008 to 2009. They didn't even make it a whole darn year. 2008 to 2009, shut those cats down. Playfish, which was behind The Sims Social, they stayed on from 2009 to 2013. And EA Salt Lake and New Effects, Westwood, Victory Games, all of them have been shut down. Now, EA has shut down 14 studios since 1983. 14. You mean to tell me, running through this list of different developers that were on their roster, some of these guys had a lot of promise. I really thought the Saboteur was pretty freaking good, but they shut them down a year later. I don't even think it was a year, just 2008, 2009. The game came out, let's just say in September. 2009, shoot, you shut down. More than half of the year's gone in the previous year. It is just crazy. I mean, some of these games that were staples, Maxis from SimCity, good grief, Wing Commander. Anyway, me, myself, personally, my point is, I think they're going to get shut down, man. I think EA is a no-holds-barred company. If you don't pull your weight, you gotta get up out of here. You gotta go. You gotta leave. Exit stage right. But we'll see. I'm hoping that, Anthem delivers. I talked to, one of the developers. He said things are coming along okay. He's not too worried. He's saying they working hard, baby. They working hard. So we'll see what happens, man. But, hey, I'm done with this one. Moving on to the next story. I would love to know what y'all think about this though. But, moving on. Microsoft, once again, okay. This is when some of the stories kind of get up to date now. Okay. Now, they've added more games, and I should have added this on to the other one, but I didn't. I'm unprofessional. Sorry, people. I do apologize. But, they added Splinter Cell Blacklist and Splinter Cell Double Agent. Now, these actually help bring the total backwards compatibility list to over 400 titles. Now, this is cool because up till now, I have never played Blacklist. And the reason why was I'm a big Splinter Cell fan. I've played all of the Splinter Cells except for the one when he wasn't in the suit, I think he was in plain clothes. I can't remember the name of that one, but I didn't play that one. But I've been a big Splinter Cell fan. It was because of Splinter Cell that actually got into the Xbox ecosystem because the game looked so amazing with the shadows. It was the first game I ever seen with that level of realism when it came to hiding in the shadows. So, I was really looking forward to Blacklist, but 2013, man, we were already focused on the next generation of gaming. I mean, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 came out that year, so it kinda went under my radar, even though it was shown off at E3 and it looked great. They were showing him, what was he, actually talking to the guy, had him in a chokehold or something and, was trying to get him to give up some information. But, I never got a chance to get into it. So with this being backwards compatible, I have more of a chance jumping into it since I don't have to break out the 360 to actually be able to experience the game. But anyway, I think that's great on Microsoft's part that they continue to add to the list, and it being over 400 titles now, I think it's no question that Microsoft is 100% committed to this backwards compatible thing. I hate to call it a thing. This, being able to give us as the consumer, extra bang for our money. Now, moving on. So this is the thing. On the last podcast, I talked about, Xbox One numbers and how well the brand was doing. So I think it's only fair that I talk about PlayStation 4 numbers. Now, and people always wonder, why do you want to talk about the numbers? The numbers are key to knowing how well a company is doing and to make sure that they're going to be around a while. So that's why the numbers matter to me. It has nothing to do with comparing console to console, who's winning, who's losing. It has nothing to do with that. I want to make sure that the industry is healthy so it continues to move forward. That is the only reason why. So let's go ahead and get into PlayStation 4's numbers. Now, in the period between April and June, Sony made $17.9 billion in revenue and was able to make almost $1.8 billion in profit. Now, they were also able to move 3.2 million PlayStation 4 units and sold a little over 40 million games and are holding at 33.9 PlayStation Plus members. Now, as far as profit, the PlayStation division was responsible for bringing in $750 million in profit, which is twice as much as any of Sony's other departments. Now, if you want to get into some of the quick other departments of Sony, I'll just do a quick rundown. The phone division lost $97 million. Sony Pictures lost $68 million, and the music side of Sony bought in $288 million. Now, if you look at the one thing that did make them profit, it's still way lower than the PlayStation, bringing in $750 million in profit. So I think it truly is safe to say that Sony is definitely holding on. I'm not going to say holding on, but they're definitely being able to stay in a really good position because of the PlayStation brand, which only makes sense for them to want to go out there, get more studios, hire more talent, make the studios bigger, because PlayStation is definitely Sony's cash cow right now. And it's great to see that they're actually making money. When people always say that they're not doing this or they're not making as much as Microsoft, it's okay. They're making enough for themselves to be able to sustain their business and continue on with their business model. Because I will be quite frank and honest with you guys. I love the fact that Sony concentrates more so on single player experiences. Microsoft, I'm not saying they're not doing that as well, but you can see Sony, that is where they are. Single player experiences is the thing that's their lane. Whereas with Microsoft, they're more multiplayer centric, so I definitely appreciate this about Sony. And with this being said, I'm sure that we will continue to get more single player experiences, especially since God of War was the fastest selling PlayStation 4 game. No, PlayStation game. They said the other one was Uncharted 4, I believe. That was the fastest selling, but God of War has dethroned that, and that is a single player experience. So bravo to Sony for being able to continue this business model and make money, and that things are healthy overall at Sony, even though, God dog, you might want to give up the phone division. $97 million lost. Give it up, Sony. God darn, move on. But moving on from that, I mean, shoot, Microsoft sure did. Moving on into some very interesting PC news. Now, this is, man, I can get behind this, brother. God dog. Now, EA has just launched its Origin Access Premier service. Now, the service will cost $15 per month or $100 for the year. Now, as far as what's included in the service, you get new EA titles a few days before launch. You won't have to pay for most DLC, which is a big one. Most DLC you won't have to pay for, and the games that are included in the subscription are deluxe editions. Now, for extra incentive to get people to subscribe right away, EA is adding deluxe editions of FIFA 18, Unravel 2, Battlefront 2, and either The Sims or Faye. This was the thing that I was talking about that Cody actually kind of mentioned in his email with Ubisoft, and, you know, actually subscribing to the game itself. EA is actually taking this thing to a whole nother level. I thought EA Access was a great deal. Them actually making it so most DLC you won't have to pay for, because you're going to be getting the deluxe editions of the games. You'll be able to get them a few days early, and the service is only $100 for the year. Or if you just want to pop in and pop out, $15 a month. I truly believe that this is a good value. I mean, you figure $100, that's less, far less than you would pay for 2 games that would be deluxe editions. If I had a PC, if I did, I would be super, and I mean super tempted to go ahead and try this out. But I don't have a PC that could run these kind of games, so I'm kind of out. But I am curious to know, now that Microsoft does have their own platform for this, you know, I wonder, Game Pass, I wonder, will they allow EA to bring this to their platform as well? Because right now EA Access is still there. I don't know if that's really, I doubt if that's really, you know, doing anything to Microsoft sales, because, it's EA, you know, and you get that service to get EA games. Whereas with Game Pass, you actually get all kinds of third party games that are included in that service. So I wonder, you know, will Microsoft allow them to do this as well, put this on their service? Because right now it's on PC. We know that, you know, PC is open source. You don't really have any boundaries with that. I'm sure with Microsoft, they're going to want to cut because you're on their platform. But I will be interested to see if this does make its way over to the Xbox side. Very, very interesting, and a great move by EA. I got to give them a lot of props on that. But shoot, with that, maybe less games will flop. God dog it. Moving on. Now, let's get into some Nintendo news. Now, we have some numbers to report for Nintendo, you know, for the house that Mario built. Now, the Nintendo Switch has sold 19.67 million units. Now, as far as software sales, Super Mario Odyssey has sold 11.7 million units. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has sold 10.35 million units. And Zelda has sold 9.32 million. Just to name a few of them. It was a top 10 list. I didn't want to write down all of the doggone names because that would have took way too long. But overall, man, if you think about it, what's the Switch going on? 2 years old now? Maybe 3. I'm losing track, but nonetheless, they are pretty much halfway to where the Xbox One is in far less time. I have always wondered, man, and I don't know, this might be the question of the week. I don't know. I'm debating, but I'm thinking, man, if this generation, I think only by default, they won't be able to do it. But I truly think that the Nintendo Switch could overtake the Xbox One. I think it could as far as sales go, which would be not insane because Nintendo did it during the Wii era where they bodied everybody. Nobody could even come close to the numbers that they put up that generation. But I have wondered, could they actually sell more units than Microsoft? It would be interesting. But nonetheless, Nintendo is doing fantastic. Their games are selling very, very well. 11.7 million units. Good gosh. Incredible numbers. So big up to Nintendo for doing such a great job and continuing to have this winning streak go forth in their favor. Now, moving on, let's talk about Insomniac Games. Oh, Insomniac. Now, it's official. Spider-Man has gone gold. Insomniac made the official announcement via Twitter saying, and I quote, "We are pleased to announce that hashtag Spider-Man PlayStation 4 has gone gold for its worldwide release on September 7th. Thanks to at PlayStation and at Marvel Games for their support in the creation of this original Spider-Man adventure." All I can say is big ups to Insomniac, man. It's I'm very happy that they are at the helm of a Spider-Man game. I truly think that this game is going to do well. I think this game is going to get around an 87 on Metacritic. I think it's going to do fantastic. And I've heard, the fanboyism out there, about it's only so much hype around Spider-Man because it's a PlayStation 4 title, because, it's an exclusive on the PlayStation 4. If it was on Xbox and if it was on, on PlayStation together, it wouldn't be as much hype. Me, myself, I disagree with that. I think that everybody is genuinely excited about Spider-Man. I mean, for me personally, I am. I mean, I'm not going to speak for everybody else, but this could have been on the Nintendo Switch if it looked the way it actually looks. If it played the way that it looks like it plays graphically, man, that Switch would have been popped out of the box immediately on September 7th. So I don't think that that's the case. But what I do believe is, some people, not all. It's such a small minority of people that feel this way because gaming is ultimately, it's more of a, it's not a hardcore. The hardcore don't run gaming as much as we think we do. The guys that are into the culture, that follow the people, that follow developers and the development as it's going on. Most of the people that play games are casuals, which will never know about this game being exclusive or knowing that Insomniac is behind it. They won't know who the studio is. They just won't. They don't know who Ted Price is. Most people that play don't even read about this stuff like we do. So I truly think that, the game just looks dope. It looks like this could be the Spider-Man game that does what Rocksteady did for Batman, as far as that's possibly what Insomniac could do for Spider-Man. The game just looks great. So I don't know why anybody would be upset about it. And I don't understand that fanboy mentality. It's nothing stopping you from getting a PlayStation and an Xbox and a Nintendo Switch. It's nothing stopping you. I just don't understand. If you're really into gaming and you really love the gaming culture, to me, I would think you would want to be able to experience as many dope gaming experiences as possible that are available to you. But that's just me, man. I'm in it for the games, brother. I truly am. But anyway, nonetheless, I will be picking this game up, and I am tempted. I am so tempted to pick up that PlayStation 4 Pro Spider-Man console. Oh man, that joint looks good. Man, it's all red with the white spider on the front, man, brother. I'm contemplating, brother. I have darn near pushed that button, that pre-order button like 4 times already, brother, but I'm trying to hold off, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Insomniac, I really hope this game does fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it. I was able to talk to one of the developers about it. He feels confident about it. And I'm just hoping that, it goes well. I really am. Now, I want to quickly say, really quickly, when I say I'm talking to these developers, I don't want you guys to think, I'm having long conversations with these guys. No. I asked, I don't want to say his name, but I talked to him, to one of the developers. He said things are coming along great. We're very confident. We really feel like we did a great job on this. And, we think you're going to be pleased. That was it. This wasn't a huge back and forth conversation. I can't get him on the show right now. He's not willing to do it. That's why I don't want to say any names. But, anyway, I might have said too much already. But, moving on. Let's go. Now, now this is some gaming news that you guys probably won't be interested in. I don't know. I found it interesting though. I was like, wow, this is really happening. I stumbled across it's obscure a little bit, but it's interesting news. Are you guys familiar with the game Buck Hunter? If not, it's a light gun arcade game where you shoot bucks and, like you're going out there, you're wild hunting bears and boars and stuff like that. Well, come to find out, this game has been having championship tournaments over the last 10 years where the grand prize is $20,000. Now, if you're interested in seeing this event, it will take place in Vegas at the Esports Arena inside the Luxor Hotel and Casino from October 26th until the 27th. Man, I tell you, I was at this truck stop. I was in Buffalo, New York. I went to Jim's truck stop. Shout out to Jim's. They got some dope bomb food up in Jim's, and they had this the game, the Buck Hunter game. And I was looking at it because I got a little small arcade in there, and I'm like, it's cool to play a game real quick while you're waiting for your food to get done. And I just so happened to look at the game, and I saw it was a real video of people like cheering and, big crowds of people like, yeah, get 'em. I was like, man, what the world is this? Is this a tournament that they're videoing or what? And I went online to just check to see if this was a thing, and God dog, lo and behold, man, they are actually doing this. I'm shocked that this hasn't been put on a bigger stage, but, hey, this year, if you're interested, like I said, in Vegas, by the way, I went to Vegas about 3 weeks ago. Oh man, Vegas was dope, brother. Let me tell you, Vegas was a lot of darn fun. Man, I went to the Luxor Hotel. We were just hotel hopping, man. I mean, I had drinks in my hand. My girl had drinks in her hand. We were going in the stores, going in the shops, drinking, and they didn't even say, hey, you got to throw that out, man. We had these big cups from a place called Dick's, where they sell these huge, massive cups of alcohol beverage. And man, it was freaking great, man. I had such a great time. Went on a helicopter ride, went over to Grand Canyon. Well, flew over the Grand Canyon, went to the Grand Canyon, stepped on what is it called? Man, I'm losing my train of thought. The thing where basically you stand on this platform and you can look all the way down. It's this glass and it's like you're in the darn Grand Canyon. It was dope though. But anyway, man, let me move on from there. Go to Vegas, man. It was fun. Fun times. Woo! Fun times. Now, okay. Some more Crackdown news came out and Sumo Digital managing director Paul Porter had a few things to say about the game. He said that basically them pushing back the game has just given them extra time to polish an already finished product to make it better. Now, this is the quote. He says, "The way to make the best game is you finish them, then finish them again, and then finish them again. That's what we're doing with Crackdown." End of quote. Now, man, this don't make me feel any better about the release of Crackdown, brother. I will say, to stay positive, the game did look pretty good at E3. The trailer they showed, I was like, man, it looks like it's improved a bit. It looks cool. Crackdown is a game I actually am gonna buy that. I am gonna buy that and see what it's about, but I am a little worried. I am, man. I mean, if the game is done and you gotta finish it 3 times over, my brother, it is not done. That is not a finished product. It's one thing to measure twice and cut once, but when you measuring 5 and 6 times, 3 or 4 times, and then you cut once, man, brother, you having a problem. You having a problem reading the ruler, god dog it. You are having situations. So, man, Crackdown 3, I really wanted to succeed. I wanted to do well, but, it's just been in a doggone bad state, man. It's just been tough. Development hell, I think is what they call it. And the game is no exception. It's just been in a tough spot. I'm hoping for the best, but we'll see, man. We will see. What do you guys think about this? I don't know. But I'm moving on into some very hopeful and interesting. Oh, this story right here. Oh, man. Joy, brothers. Joy all over the face. Now, this is some interesting Playground Games news. Now, the newly acquired studio from Microsoft has just added more key talent to their roster. Now, here are the names. Now, Scotty Brown joined as a principal environment artist, and he comes over from working on Star Wars Battlefront 2. That game looks phenomenal. The environments look really pretty. Now, you got Luka Suich. Man, I always mess up these people's names. Forgive me, people. Luka Suich joins as a lead environment artist. Now, he worked at BioWare for 13 years, where he predominantly worked on the Mass Effect franchise. You got Martin Lancaster is coming over as a narrative director who served in senior writing roles on the Arkham games. The Arkham games have some awesome stories. Now, I know Arkham 3 got a lot of hate. People didn't like the Batmobile. I don't know how many times I'm going to bring this up, but that story was fire. Oh my goodness. Anybody that played through Arkham Knight all the way through, you cannot tell me that story wasn't fire. It was hot. Man, so having somebody with his caliber coming over for storytelling, or narrative direction, I think that is a fantastic thing. Now let's move on. Chris Goodell is coming over as a principal animator. Now he comes from Ninja Theory. which is another Microsoft studio now, which is crazy. I got high hopes for those brothers over there at Ninja Theory. But he's coming over, principal animator. Up next, you have well, actually, I'm sorry. This guy, I want to go back to Chris Goodell real quick. He worked on Enslaved, DMC, and Hellblade. All three of those games are fantastic games. So really good talent background by him. And last and certainly the most interesting, actually this guy's not last, but up next is lead technician Rob Den Decker. He will be joining the Q&A team. Now, what makes Rob very interesting is he has worked on Fable 1 and 2. Now, the loose talk, it's not confirmed. It may not ever happen. But the loose talk is that Playground Games is working on a new Fable game. They didn't say that's what they're working on, but that's what people are thinking they are working on. That seems to be the consensus out there. And them actually having a guy joining the Q&A team from Fable 1 and 2, it makes you say, man, could it be true or could it be coincidence? I don't know. But we have one more person that joined the team as well. His name is Joe McKernan, who is a UI artist who worked on Horizon Zero Dawn and Destiny 2. He is now with Playground Games. I only bring this up because personally for me, and we're really getting close to that hour mark. I guess it won't be any video game theater this week, guys. But the reason why I bring up this talent is because it's this big perception around Microsoft games that they don't have any talent. Microsoft has zero talent on their roster. And it seems like now Microsoft has acquired 5 new studios. They have shown that they are committed to the console space, talking about Project Scarlet early on at E3. Well, just mentioning the name. It's not like you went through any specs or anything like that, but just letting us know that they are committed to the console space. And I just say that, it looks like Microsoft is really getting serious. They're hiring, new help. They're, hiring, not hiring, but opening up these new studios, these new acquisitions to really show that they are committed to making the best games possible. And I'm really, really hoping that Playground Games can knock a home run out the park. I'm hoping that Ninja Theory will be able to do the same, and The Initiative, which is another studio that I have high hopes for, which is being led by, I forget the gentleman's name, but he's from the reboot of Tomb Raider. I'm really, really hoping that Microsoft can really turn things around and not have to always rely on 343 and the Coalition to be their prime studios. I understand Rare is in there, Sea of Thieves it didn't really set the world on fire. Brother, neither did State of Decay 2, but, with these budgets looking like they're being upped more, I'm really hoping that the talent has a chance to shine. Now, whoa. Wait a minute. Wait. Oh, shucks. Yo, these just came in. Oh, shoot. Look, check this out. 2 stories, man. All right. Now, this is hot off the internet web. Now, tomorrow, August 9th. Listen, man. Tomorrow, August 9th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or if you're on the West Coast, 2 p.m. Pacific time, Rockstar has announced that the official gameplay will be shown of Red Dead Redemption 2 tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Holy I was just about to sign off. Well, not sign off, but do the question of the week. Man, this is dope news. Man, that's it, man. Shoot. I'm excited. Tomorrow, August 9th, 11 a.m. I wonder what they are going to show. Oh my goodness. Be on the lookout for that, people. Be on the lookout. The last thing, the last story, God dog, this is dope too. One more thing. God of War will have New Game Plus launching August 20th. With this free patch, you will have the ability to skip cinematic scenes. Man, so you got, God dog, this is great, man. They were talking about, and we're over an hour. God dog it. Man, forget it. You know what? They were talking about this at E3, talking about they were working on the New Game Plus. I didn't think that thing was coming out for a couple of months. That was just in June. August 20th, you will be able to do a New Game Plus. I think I would do that with God of War because there's so many different items and upgrades that you can get. This is going to be awesome. And to be able to skip the cinematic scenes, man, this is fantastic news. What a way to end the show on some stuff that I wasn't even planning on. Man, anyway, darn, let me get to the question of the week, brother. Shucks, what should the question of the week be? I don't even know, man. Let's see. Let's see. I don't even know. I don't think it's going to be a question of the week this week, man. I think that, if it is a question of the week, it'll be in the title. Cause right now it's over an hour and I'm about to wrap it up. But, I'm gonna get on up off of here, man. Yeah, the question will be in the title. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I was rusty as heck, brother, let me tell you. But, I'm about to get off of here. And as always, man, before I go, always remember, it's not about the consoles, brothers. It's about the games, god dog it, these games, baby. Shoot. So with that being said, you guys take care. Be safe out there. Until next time. Bye-bye. You know what? For the first time, brother, I'm not done yet. Nah, man, I'm not done. I came up with a question, man, and I want to get you guys' opinion on this, man. Do movies based on games need to exist? I need to know that. Me personally, I think we are at a point with gaming that you don't need a darn movie to really try to put you in that cinematic feel of what the game could be if it was a movie. Right now, we are playing movies. Look at Uncharted 4. Unbelievable. I mean, fantastic. I mean, it is a movie. God of War. Another game that is just like a movie. I'll even go to Gears of War 4. Just the way the games are. The cinematics, the in-game stuff, the cutscenes, the camera angle work, all of that stuff. I don't think they need to exist. I think that Hollywood needs to come up with their own ideas, make their own stuff up from scratch, and take it from there. But yes, that is my question for this week. I'm so sorry. This has been a very unorthodox episode. Yeah, that's about it. But all right, I'm gone for real this time, y'all. So hopefully everybody listened until the end and got this part of it. But I'm really out of here now. Do movies based on games need to exist? I am Ghost. Deuces.